Hi everyone, my name is Kate and you're welcome here on my channel where we talk about fragrances. And today is a very, very special day because I have a guest. For the first time on my channel, there is a guest and I'm so excited to tell you all about him, or maybe he will tell about him. And we're going to discuss his wonderful fragrances because he's a perfumer. His name is Sal. Sal, can you tell a couple of words about yourself?
Hi everyone, thanks for having me on. My name is Sal Barone. I'm a perfumer and head perfumer of a brand that we are launching soon called Attico Barone. It's an Italian word, Attico. Attico means studio, art studio, attic, and it kind of honors and celebrates perfumers of long days past where they were up in an attic creating scents in front of a perfume organ, by hand. And I kind of love the romance of that, the romantic idea of a perfumer up in their studio creating something new.
That sounds very romantic.
I'm a romantic kind of person.
So do you feel like this romance and romantic message reads through your fragrances?
Yeah.
Can you smell the romance?
That's a really great question. There are many ways that we try to get that message across. One is through packaging, which we're still working through right now. I want the package to feel modern, but at the same time, I want it to be an homage to old school perfumery, elegance, something that feels like it has history. And then there are the names that I come up with, and then there are the actual scents themselves. The scents embrace modern technology, modern molecules, modern structures, but at the same time, we also use beautiful absolutes and naturals and essential oils the way they used to do it back in the day, and really kind of evoking the story and telling the story, and all that kind of comes through, and that's how you get the romance and the history behind each scent.
That sounds amazing, but don't give us all away right now because I have some questions. I wanted to start with the beginning of your journey. So when and how did it happen that you actually got inspired by a fragrance? Maybe at first you tried something and it gave you an idea later to create something later yourself. How did it happen for you?
Well, I mean, if I go all the way back, I was 10 years old and I was trying to make my mom a rose perfume.
Oh my God.
And silly me, I kind of just thought that I could take rose petals and boil them in water. And I was very confused that it didn't smell like a beautiful rose perfume because I boiled these flowers. My mom didn't understand what was going on, but she kind of let me be creative like I was. But I was always intrigued by her scents and the stuff that she wore, and I would always sneak into her bedroom to smell it, and then trying to make it for her. But my real journey actually began when I read a Patrick Süskind book called PERFUMER, Story of a Murderer.
Yeah, everybody keeps asking me. So when I say, sorry,
please, okay.
So when I tell people that I'm obsessed with fragrances, that I love perfumes, 50% of times people say, oh, did you read or did you see that movie? What's the name? Something with perfume. I'm like, the perfumer? Yes, that was
PERFUMER, Story of a Murderer. Sounds ominous and dark, and it was, but and the book was beautiful because it's very hard to capture scent through words, and I think he does an amazing job with that. But after reading that and after seeing the movie, I was very inspired, not by the murdering parts.
Not by
just so everybody knows. I was more inspired by the process of perfumery. And when I watched the movie, I left the theater feeling like something awoke inside me. This passion that maybe I buried down deep for many years just kind of woke up, and I could not think about anything else. And immediately after the movie, I went to some deli in the Lower East Side in New York City here, and I was like, give me the sandalwood and give me this. And I just kind of started mixing. Then I started to buy textbooks. I did a lot of reading. I took some classes with Mandy Aftel, who's an amazing natural perfumer, and really started to learn that way. And then years later, after I got more comfortable, I started to experiment with more naturals and absolutes, finding out what I like. But it wasn't until I really started to embrace modern molecules in perfumery that things really started to evolve with my scents. They really help kind of make things last longer, help give a trail, help project, and all these things. And so I was finally able to start seeing things come to fruition once I embraced that. And it took years to learn. And I'm self-taught, and a lot of people now out there are self-taught. And, you know, I think the main thing that I can say, if I wanted to give any kind of advice to anybody out there, is pay attention. You need to be patient, and you need to practice. And it takes years to do, and you have to learn your materials. And that is what you learn at the famous perfumery schools. You are learning your materials. And then once you know them and how they work and how they function, you can understand and pull from that library to create a scent. And it took me years to understand that.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning.
Yeah. Oh, but it's wonderful. And I'm just so excited to talk to somebody personally, you know, who went through that way. And maybe some people who watch us, maybe there are some subscribers who are actually thinking about starting something or thinking about creating a fragrance, because I know that some of my followers are just incredible and have been there for many, many years in this world, you know, in this obsession in a way.
Yes.
And because it is an obsession for many people, and it's a whole world. Fragrances, it's the whole world. And maybe somebody will get inspired, you know. And for me, as a creator of this blog, it's very important to send a message for those who also love fragrances.
So for me, before my actual official launch, that's why my Instagram account is all about behind the scenes, right? It's all about how I'm actually creating this brand, how much work goes into it, how much thought goes into it, the failures.
That's an interesting one.
There's a fail, you know, you have to be okay. I always say fail up, fail beautifully, because you have to learn to embrace the failure. The wrong experiments sometimes are the right experiments, you know, like the famous Chanel No. 5, right? We all know that story where they accidentally added all these aldehydes. I think it was supposed to be at 1%. And it ended up being at 10% or something like that. And of course, Coco Chanel picked No. 5. But that was a mistake, and that was a beautiful mistake. And so I think sometimes just being fearless and testing things and record everything, write everything down.
Oh, that's a good advice. Yeah.
But I didn't want to just be another brand, niche brand or whatever that just came out with a bunch of releases and sort of like, you know, inundate everybody with new releases, because, you know, it's a lot happening right now, which is great. But at the same time, I thought I wanted to make it more personal, and I wanted to share the journey.
My next question is, how does it look from the idea to the finish? When you have an idea about the fragrance that you want to create, and there's a whole process, right?
Yes.
From start to finish. So I would like to show you Sal's fragrance that actually, when we met, I got a sample of it by accident from another person, not from Sal. And
She stole it.
Kind of did. So I sprayed it on my wrist, and I started smelling it, and I was just shocked because it was so beautiful, and I instantly fell in love. It's a great, great fragrance, and we'll talk about it now. So this is the bottle. It's called Fetish. No, it will not. It doesn't want to. Okay, take it and tell about your creative process with this fragrance.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, this one is called Petal Fetish, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But just to step back a little bit, like the process, I'm inspired by, I mean, I think perfumery is an art form, and I'm inspired by other art, right? So whether that's poetry or writing, and even my friends, I have some of the most amazing women in my life who are strong and powerful and in charge of their careers, of their life, and what they want. And I'm always inspired by them, by the women in my life. And I thought about a tuberose scent, and I wanted to create a tuberose focused
for those women.
For those women who represent those women, because the beautiful thing about tuberose, the flower, to me, is that it has so many sides to it, right? I mean, it's usually always presented in this ultra feminine, sweet, cloying way. And the scent itself, the real flower, is much more complicated than that. It's got so many sides to it. It's rubbery, it's leathery, it's got a latex vibe to it, but it's also menthol and green, and then also the white, beautiful petals and the flowers.
Oh my God, yes.
And when I thought about sort of that side of it and the duality of it being ultra feminine, but also having a very boss-like attitude and very in charge attitude, I thought of dominatrix, and I thought of, parts of the flower, which is latex and all that.
Yeah.
And there is an obsession with tuberose. Either people love it or hate it. I'm a lover of
Me
tuberose.
too. Oh my God, I love tuberose.
We have a tuberose fetish. So
yeah.
that's why I call it petal fetish. I wanted to explore all sides of the tuberose flower. So it starts off bright with a little bit of lemon and some fig trees, a little bit of green. It's actually very green. We can spray some of it right now, actually.
I cannot wait to smell it again because it's so awesome. Oh, maybe let's do two so we can both
Yes, this
smell.
one for you.
Thank you. What a gentleman, too.
So as you can see here, like the opening is fig leaves. And
I was thinking there's something, yes, I imagine something white. If you break a fig leaf, there's kind of a white juice in it.
Yes, like the sap of it, right?
Exactly,
like the milky sap.
Yeah.
And I wanted that fig leaf and that lemon to really kind of start to introduce a different side of tuberose, not to start off very ultra feminine and sweet, but to give it a crispness, a strength to it, a lightness to it, because sometimes tuberose can feel cloying and heady. So I wanted to lighten that up a little bit. And then I added a little bit of mint just to kind of freshen it up a little bit, just to kind of give it some airiness. Then we get into the tuberose accord, and it took me a while to really create my own tuberose accord, something that was flowery, petally, soft, powdery, creamy, but at the same time I wanted it to be slightly leathery as well, and a little bit of that latex, a little bit of that.
Yeah, I can catch something. Yeah.
A little rubber in there, just to kind of throw it off a little bit. And the base is bourbon, vanilla, absolute, musks, sandalwood, and some other little things that I'm not going to tell you.
You don't have to say
all
everything.
The secrets.
We're not giving away all the secrets today. Oh, I love it. It's so nice. And it's everything that you said. It's everything what you said. It's just, I love it. Yeah.
A lot of people have told me I've gotten a lot of requests for this scent specifically, and someone reached out to want to buy a bottle even before the launch, and she said that it just had this like duality to it, that it starts off very raw and real, like broken stems, and then it goes into this very creamy tuberose phase, and ends on sort of this salty sea air and vanilla.
Wow.
So that's petal fetish.
It is definitely fetish. I hope there will be fetish about this fragrance because it deserves it.
And again, feel free to leave some comments about any bottles that you feel like are speaking to you. If you like this one with the little ribbed and the cap here, let me know. Let us know.
Yeah, it's actually a unique chance to have an impact, right? Because
engage.
He's right here. So it's actually really, really great to have this connection. You can ask questions in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, please, if you enjoy watching my content.
She's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, so it always helps.
Subscribe. Yes. I told you before this interview even started that your passion is very infectious. And I was blown away by your collection today.
Oh, yes. When Sal came into our apartment, I opened my perfume closet and he said it looks like a store.
It looked like I was at Henry Bergdorf, and I was shopping, and I didn't even want to do the interview. I was like, I just need to go through these Serge Lutens right now
We can go
because I'm
through them later.
obsessed
Yeah.
about
Don't
those.
worry. Don't worry. It's all for you. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay, great. The other one here, this blue one, if you wanted to show that one, that is inspired because memory is also a big thing for me. Memories and places. This one is called Cape Miseno, and in Italy, we're from a town called Procida. It's right on the coast of Naples. And the beach right down below our house there is called Capo Miseno. And so that's why I named this one Cape Miseno. And I give it that little bit of a blue tint in there to kind of evoke the sea because the water is so beautiful there.
Yeah. God, Italy, you know how I feel about Italy, guys. So there's an Italian person sitting in front of me talking about his memories of Italy. So I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and the challenge with this one was how do I create a marine scent or an aquatic scent that's not cliched, that's not been done before, but something that's soft and beautiful and ethereal, but also evokes the sea and the salty sea air. Our house sits on top of a mountain, and you look over the beach, Cape Miseno, and when you wake up in the morning, you walk out. You're not really smelling everything up close. You're just smelling everything in the air. And so you smell fig trees, and you smell mandarins, and you smell rose bushes, and you smell the sea, wet stones and salt and sand. And it's all in the air, just all around you. And cypress trees, we're surrounded by cypress trees. So there's a big dose of that in this.
Yeah, it has this element of the salt on the skin even.
Yes.
Yeah, when you came out of the sea and you didn't take a shower right away and it just dried on you, the seawater.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of an amber note in this as well, ambergris.
Yeah, I can smell it too.
Yeah, that does actually go back to salty skin. It feels like skin and like a day at the beach, like you're saying.
Yeah, because it's dancing between the salty and sweet part, kind of like the seawater.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think everything that I do, I like to create contrasts in my sense, because then that's how they start to dance. They start to speak to each other, and if there's a salty seawater element to it, and mixing that with something more warming or, like you said, gourmand or sweet, then there's a nice sort of dialogue happening between those two areas.
Awesome.
That's where the magic happens.
Yeah. So there's a question that I want to ask every perfumer who I would meet, and of course, Sal. When do you feel that the fragrance is actually finished? If that moment even comes, because I know that some perfumers feel like it's never finished. So what is your take on that?
It's never finished.
Okay. Yeah.
You're never really truly happy with it because, I mean, you can be happy with it and proud of it, but there's always something that can be tweaked. I mean, it is a very complicated process. It's part art, it's part chemistry, and sometimes they come together and it works beautifully. But the real challenge is to kind of just finally let it go and set it out into the world. And that's kind of the biggest challenge that I have right now. And that's why I'm doing this with you, and meeting you is very interesting because I had to kind of show you what I had, and then you had a good reaction to it. And so I have to be just able to let it out in the world and see what people feel about it.
Yeah, I feel like
they say perfection is like the biggest enemy of success. So sometimes you just have to put it out.
True. I feel the same with YouTube. So you have an idea, you're doing something, and then let's say it's been a month, and you already changed it a little bit, or you had some experiences during this month, and you have new ideas, so you can never finish. It's always, you always want to improve it and make it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's always a nice thing to want to evolve. I mean, I remember when the brand DS and Durga, because, I've lived in New York for so long, and I remember when they first came onto the scene in Brooklyn. I mean, their packaging was very different. Their ethos and everything about their brand was a little different, when it first came out. And this is before they blew up, and I was always intrigued by them because they were doing, David, the perfumer of DS and Durga was, reminded me of myself and just experimenting and learning and self-taught.
Yeah.
And when I think about where the brand is today and where they started, I mean, it's completely evolved.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing to see. It's beautiful that his packaging has changed and everything has gotten slightly bigger and better. And I think the lesson to learn from that is that, you know, the husband and wife team of DS and Durga, they just put it out there and they evolved together with their customers and their fans and with each other. And now look at where they are.
Yeah. And they have playlists for the fragrances, right?
I think they do. Some of the studio juices. Yes.
Studio
Yes.
juice.
I think that's what it is. Don't come after me. Don't at me, David.
Nice. So people who watch our video today, they might not have explored your fragrances yet,
Yes.
but how would you describe your olfactive style?
Yeah, until YouTube can release like a scented
right?
spray that comes out, they're not going to be able to, you guys
Exactly.
aren't going to know, so I'll do the best that I can to describe this. I would sum it up as beautifully complicated. I think that's the sort of vibe that I'm going for and everything. And again, when I go back to my name, Attico Barone, it really is an homage to this romantic notion of a perfumer up in their studio creating this by hand. So I want it to feel like it has rich history, but at the same time it embraces modern technology and modern molecules so that you're just getting like both sides of the coin there. You're getting both of that, this rich complexity with a nice modernity as well. I always like to explore contrast in my sense, like I've said before. So finding, you know, a material and then seeing what does that not pair well with.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a disaster and sometimes it can really work.
Yeah, suddenly you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, and I'm like,
works
this is
somehow.
interesting. Yeah. And I think like, for instance, this one that I'm currently working on right now, it's called Rose Ambush. And the reason why I call that is because I really did want it to be an overdose of rose. I wanted to come at you like you're being ambushed by it. But it's also very green, so I thought the idea of the word bush being in there was kind of interesting, like a rose bush.
What do you want people to feel when they smell your fragrance? Is there some message that you want to pass through the scent?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I'm hitting my mic, but for me personally, I don't like beast mode scents. Sorry, everyone.
Me neither. Me neither.
You know,
I'm there with you. Yes.
You know, I'm not into a perfume announcing itself before you walk into the room. I think that a perfume should be a personal luxury. So I want to create something that has a very strong structural frame so that it can last a long time on your skin, so that it has a nice projection, but within your bubble, right? So that it's personal, it's for you or anyone that maybe comes in to hug you, or, you know, snuggle with you, or you're walking by someone and they just get a very, very soft trail coming off of you, but it should be representing yourself and who you are, and personal luxury. So none of my scents are beast mode. I'll be very honest about that, but they are built to last on your skin all the time, you know, for a long time. And specifically Rose Ambush is exploring rose in a very different way. Like I didn't want it to again be this sort of stereotypical cloying rose scent, but I really wanted to, I think you said this, that actually was a really great way to talk about it, which is you imagine a florist opening up a refrigerator, a bouquet of roses, and there's a crispness to it, like snow and ice and coldness.
Yeah, like cold petals, you know, this kind of feeling. That's why I imagine this big fridge at the florist shop when they open it. And sometimes there are walk-in fridges.
Yes.
And when you open it and go inside, and the smell of cold rose petals and leaves, it's great. I really like that feeling. And you're right, the fragrances are pretty, they're not robust and they're not overpowering. They don't fill the room. It's more of this elegant style. So if you're looking for signature scent, you know, something that is not, you know, and something you don't get tired of pretty quickly, because some of the beast mode fragrances, I think everybody had an experience when you're happy with it for a week and then you kind of start
you're like, what have I done?
Yeah, yeah, I know everything smells like it, and sometimes you want to change it, but you can't because all your smells, all your
Yeah,
clothes, sorry, is already
yeah,
smelling like it. And here it's more elegant way to carry the fragrance, and I understand completely what you mean. I agree with it.
yeah. And I mean, I love certain brands like Serge Lutens, like their Fleur d'Oranger or their Sarrasin, the jasmine
Hmm.
one. They fill my space, but I don't feel self-conscious. I can go into
Mm.
work, I can go to the office, on the
Yeah.
subway or whatever and not feel that way. So, um, that's really kind of what I'm trying to do is create a personal bubble, a
Awesome.
luxury bubble, if you
It
will.
is a luxury bubble. This one especially because it smells really Upper West Side, Manhattan.
Yes.
No, Upper East Side,
Upper
sorry.
East
Upper
Side. Oh,
East
that's
Side,
nice.
closer to the park, that kind of vibe. And in a good way, in the best way. I don't mean it's snobby at all.
Yes,
I don't
yes.
mean that.
Elegance.
It's very elegant. Yes, you see this kind of modern, clean luxury when it's not in your face, but the
Mm-hmm.
materials are very nice. The clothes is nicely made,
Tailored, sort of sharp
tailored.
clothing. Yeah,
Yes, yes. The
exactly.
hair looks very nice. There's a slight little makeup, almost no makeup look. If it's a woman,
Exactly,
for example.
exactly.
Yeah, if it's a man, I can see this on a man too. It's
Yes.
very inoffensive, nice
Mm.
everyday scent that just works for anybody.